Okay, so good morning all. Today we will be seeing the circular convolution. Last class we saw what is circular shift, what is circular time reversal, etc. So today we shall see what is circular convolution as such and how linear convolution can be done using circular convolution. Um, Last class we saw that in circular convolution, what basically happened or how does the concept of circular convolution came. For example, if you have two signals, say x xn, suppose you have one signal xn and the impulse response hn corresponding to a system transfer function capital Hs or h e raised to omega or hz, which is the discrete counterpart. So in that case, basically when you have the two signals, if you take the DFT of those two signals or those two transfer functions corresponding to xn and hn, you are basically what you are basically finding is you are taking samples of the frequency domain, and if you take samples in the frequency domain in one period, what happen in time domain is that it gets spreaded and it become basically a periodic signal. So when you do as shifting to of say shifting of one or shifting of two, basically when you do some shifting, what happen is that you are bothered about your frame, say of n sequences, but from the other sequences they may come inside. So that's what we had seen last class. So what we found is that from other frames it comes in, and basically when you see inside, when you are confined inside one frame, you see that some circular shifting is what is happening inside. So when you multiply two DFTs of signals, or suppose you multiply two DFTs in time domain, basically circular shifting or circular shifting and the circular time reversal and basically circular convolution is what is happening. So last class we saw what is circular shifting and what is circular time reversal. Today we shall see what is circular convolution as such and how linear convolution, basically all the systems are linear. When we sample the frequency domain we get DFTs, but what we actually get is not DFT, we are getting DTFT. So but computer generation or computer applications always make use of DFT. So we should know how to correlate them as we go from analog domain to digital domain, because we are storing everything in digital. We have to know the conversion of analog to digital and digital to conversion back. Similar to that, we should know what happens when you are seeing everything in the DFT domain. That is the same sampled version of frequency domain. Okay, so with that we shall come to the presentations. Okay, so last class we were seeing circular time reversal. We shall just revisit the circular shifting and circular time reversal. Um, we saw how exactly circular shifting and circular time reversal happens. So suppose you have a signal, say um, oh sorry. Um, okay. Suppose you have some signal. Okay, so here you have four. Say here you have two. Suppose here you have three, and here you have one. 0, 1, 2, 3. Suppose this is xn and suppose you have hn. One, two. Suppose you have these two signals. Okay, suppose you have 3x3 also, the value of 3. You have xn and hn. So basically, how will you find the circular shifting of say xn? If you do circular shifting of xn, say by a factor of 1, what happens is that this whole thing gets shifted. So we will consider everything within a frame. So you have a frame like this. You have another frame like this. But the frequency domain representation of this signal, when it is sampled, it becomes DFT, and when you sample the signal at frequency domain, here it becomes periodic. So this 4231 gets repeated. So you have another 4232, 4321. 4, 2, 3, 1. So like that, you have several samples. 4, 3 is 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1. Okay, this minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. So what happened when you do a shifting? When you do a shifting, when you do normal shifting, this one comes here. So if you are if you are confined into this particular frame, what you are seeing inside is this one is going, this 3 is going this side, 2 is coming here, 4 is coming here. This one goes outside. As this one goes outside, this one get inside. So you feel that this one is coming to this side. So that's why you call it a circular shifting. So when okay, so the normal sigma, your yn equal to say, when you have say yn equal to sigma xk h n minus k, you're basically doing time reversal. Then you are multiplying with the signal xn after shifting with whatever the value of n is. So while finding y of 0, what you're finding is sigma x of 0, sorry, x of n this is yeah, h of 0 minus k. So when you time reverse and shift, 0 shift means it's just time reverse. So here also we saw that time reversal. We saw time reversal in last class. So when you do time reversal, what happens is that you can see time reversal in two ways, in many ways basically. So if you consider this as a circle, say a small circle like this, and you consider all these points 1, 2, 4 and 3. We're considering this 1, 2, 4 and 3. 1, 2, 4 and 3. You consider it in the opposite side, that is 1, 3, 4 and 2. So your time reverse situation is 1, 3, 4, 2. So when you draw it, it will be at 0 and there is no change, it is 1 itself. Then you have 3, 4, 2. 1, 3, 4, 2. So if you see the signal, what basically happened is that you can see in another way also. This remains at the same position at n equal to 0. And at 2, 4, 3, what you get is basically, if you have 3 remaining values, then the middle one is kept as such. And with respect to that middle one, you are rotating this. So this 2 go to this side and 3 go to this side and 4 remains there. So that's how you got 1, 3, 4 and 2. 1, 3, 4, and 2. Okay. So that way also you can see it. You can see it in a circular way, where the circular, basically the circular time reversal means instead of 1, 2, 4, 3, you go to 1, 3, 4, 2. Okay. So so circular convolution means you are doing circular time reversal and circular shifting. So when you have these two signals, basically what you do is you have to first do the circular time reversal, then shift it and multiply and add it together. That's what we do with these equations. So let us do the time reversal first. So let us assume that this is xk and this is h of k. So what will be h of minus k? For circular shift, you may indicate it with some circular time reversal like that. It's so you can indicate with some notation with whether it is circular time reversal or actual time reversal. So if you do the circular time reversal, what you get is 1, 3, 4, 2. 1, 3, 4, 2. Okay, this is if you have k here, this is h minus k time, circular time reversed version. And you have to basically, to get y of 0, you have to multiply these two and add together. So 4 into 1 plus 2 into 3 plus 3 into 4 plus 1 into 2. So what will you get? 4 plus 6 plus 12, 22, 22 plus 2, 24, right? So y0 will be 24. Now how will you get y of 1? You do a circular shift to right side. So if you do a circular shift to right side, what you're going to get is, I'll put the frame here so that you don't get confused. So this is the frame. We are concerned only about the frame. Actually, you have values here. So when you do normal shifting and normal time reversal, all these values are basically coming in. So y of 1 is you shift it by 1. So this 2 comes here. This 1, 3, and 4 moves this way. So 2 into 4, this 2 is multiplied with 4, 8. Okay, this 2 is multiplied with 1, 8 plus 2, 10. 3 and 3 are multiplied. So 10 plus 9, 19. 19 plus 4, 4 into 1, 23. So this is 23. What about y of 2? You again do shifting by a factor of 2. So what you will get is this 4, 2, 1, 3, right? 4, 2, 1, 3. You do shifting by a factor of 2. So these 4 and 2 will come here, then 4 will come. So 4, 2, then the remaining 1, 3, 1, 3. So multiply it and add 4 into 4, 16 plus 4, 20 plus 1 into 3, 23 plus 3, 26. So y of 2 is 26. And finally y of 3, how will you find y of 3? Again you do one more shift. So this 3 will come to this side. So 3, 4, then the remaining 2, 1. 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay, 3, 4, 2, 1. So if you put the 0, 1, 2, 3, this 0, 1, 2, 3. In this case, again you multiply 3 with 4, 12, plus 4 into 2, 8, it is 20, 23, 6, 26, plus 1, 27. So your yn, that is when you do circular convolution of this signal, that is xn, and this signal, that is hn, when you do circular convolution, sorry, this signal hn, this is xn and this is hn. When you do circular convolution of this, you time reverse it, shift it and multiply it, add it. What you get as yn is this signal. signal is 24y0, we have 24, 23, 26 and 27. 0, 1, 2, 3, 24, 23, 26 and 27. So this is y of n, signal y of n that you get by convolving x of n 4, 2, 3, 1 and h of n 1, 2, 4, 3. I hope this the process is clear. This is how you do circular convolution. Okay. Now let us see how to do linear convolution using circular convolution. How do you do linear convolution using circular convolution? Okay. So you know that you have some signal x of n. Suppose this is x of n, and suppose you have h of n. One, two, one, three, 0, 1, 2, 3. When you do a linear convolution of x of n and h of n, what you are going to get is, okay, before that, how will you notate circular convolution? How do you notate linear convolution? You put a star, x of n convolution, h of n. So linear convolution, there are several notations. Sometimes something like this is used. Sometimes xn inside you write c. This is also used. There are many notations. We'll use this xn, this notation, circular convolution notation. So when you have xn and hn, when you do a linear convolution, what will you get? You do a linear convolution. You do linear convolution. Here you have 4 samples. Here you have 4 samples. So basically you should have how many samples at the output? If you have n samples for xn, say, and m samples for hn, what will be the number of samples at the output, say y of n? Can one of you unmute and tell?
N plus m minus 1.
M plus n minus 1. Very good. You have the support for yn, or the length of yn will be m plus n minus 1. So here you can see that there are 4 samples. Here you have another 4 samples. So the total number of samples will be 4 plus 4 minus 1, which is 7. So you have 7 samples in the linear convolution. Okay, so you should have 7 samples in the linear convolution. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, how will you do linear convolution of this? You do a time reversal. So when you do time reversal, you represent hn as h minus k, right? You represent it as h minus k. Where we are considering the linear convolution. So linear convolution means this will become, when you do time reversal, this 3 will come to the position of minus 3. So you have 3 here. Then you have at minus 2 you have 1. At minus 1 you have value 2. At 0 you have value 1. Okay. So this is the basic time reverse version of this signal. So y of 0, what will be y of 0? Just multiply it and add. So 4 into 3, 12 plus 3, 15 plus 2, 17 plus 2, 19. Okay. Then to get y of 1, what you do is you shift it by 1. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So if this is shifted by a factor of 1, you have at 1 you have this value 1, at 0 you have 2. So you'll get 3 into 1. Sorry, y of 0 is not 19, right? What is the value of y of 0? What will be the value of y of 0?
So 4.
4, very good. Y of 0 is 4. Why? Why is y0 4? Y of 0 is 4 because when you multiply these two signals, this have value in the negative region, say minus 3 to 0, and this signal have value from 0 to 3. So when you multiply these two, only the value at 0 is going to be multiplied. So 4 into 1 will be 4. So y of 0 is 4. What is y of 1? You shift the signal by a factor of 1. So this 1 will shift to 1 and this 2 will shift to 0. So what you get is 3 into 1 plus 4 into 2. So 8 plus 3, 11. Y of 2 is, what will be y of 2? Again, you shift it by a factor of 1. So 1 into 1 plus 3 into 2, 7. 6 plus 1, 7. 7 plus 4, 11. Again, 11. If there is any mistake, please tell me. What about y of 3? Again, you shift it by a factor of 1. So basically, you'll get 2 into 1 plus 2 into 1, 4 plus 3, 7, 7 plus 12, 19. This is 19. What about y of 4? Again, you shift it. Then this is multiplied with this. 3 into 3, 9 plus 1, 10. 10 plus 4, 14. What about y of 5? Again, if it gets shifted, so 3 into 1 plus, that is 3. 3 plus 2, 5. Again, you shift it. What do you get? 3 into 2, 6. Then again, if you shift, it becomes 0. So you get values from 0 to 6. That are those are 7 values which you have mentioned here. N plus 4, n plus m minus 1. So if you plot it, you get y of 0. You have a value of, this is basically y of n. Y of 0, you have value of you have a value of 4. Y of 1, you have value of 11. Y of 2, you have value of 11 again. Y of 3, you have value of 19. Y of 4, you have value of 14. Right? You have value of 14. Y of 5, you have value of 5. Y of 6, you have value of again 6. Okay. So this is the signal that you get. Okay. Now this is linear convolution. Now let us see how to do circular convolution using linear convolution. Okay, so let us see. You have the signal 4312. Okay, I will do it here itself. I'll do in this side 4312. Four, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 1, 3. Okay. So these were the two signals that we convolved. So to do a circular convolution, linear convolution using circular convolution, what you do is your linear convolution should have 7 support of 7. So the original signal 4312, you paired with 3 zeros, you add 3 zeros so that it become, the signal doesn't change, but you have, the frame is increased to a size of 7. Similar to that, 1 2 1 3, again you add 3 zeros, then again your size becomes 7. Now with these two values you do circular convolution. So to do circular convolution, what will you do? We'll use this notation so that you can be familiar with this notation also. So this is xn, this is h of n. You do circular convolution, first do time reversal. So you have 6 values, so this will be, this and this will be interchanged. You can draw a circle and that way also you can shift. This and this will be interchanged, this and this will be interchanged when you do circular time reversal. So basically you will get 1 0 0 0 3 1 2. This is the new signal h of, if the variable is changed to k, h of minus k, circularly shift. So the circular time reversed version. So this can be confirmed with this value also. This you have 1 2 1 3, and again 3 zeros, 0 0 0. So to do time circular time reversal, you start from here 1 0 0 0 3 1 2, 1 0 0 0 3 1 2. Okay, so the same thing happened here. Now the circular time reversal is done. So now you have to multiply these two and add to get y of 0. So what will be y of 0? To get y of 0, what you do is multiply them and add. So 4 into 1, 4. These are all zeros. These are also zeros. 4, y of 0 is 4. Y of 1, you do circular shift. So this 2 will come to this side. So 2 1 0 0 0 3 1. 2 1 0 0 3 1. 2 1 0 3 zeros are there, then 3 1. This is to be multiplied with this, then you get y of 1. So 4 into 2 8 plus 3 11. This will be 0. This will be 0. 11, right? So is this what we have got here? 4 11. Okay. Now next one is, again you do time reversal to this. This will, 1 will come to this side. So 1 2 1. I'll write it here. 1 2 1 3 zeros. Then you have 3 here. Again you multiply it to get y of 2. You multiply it with this. 4 into 1 4 plus 6, that is 10. 1 into 1 1, 11. Then all others are zeros. So this is again 11. What about y of 3? Again you shift it. You shift circular shift, do circular shift. 2 1 triple 0. You multiply it. 4 into 3 12 plus 3 15 plus 2 17 plus 2 19. So this is 19. What about y of 4? Again you do circular shifting. So you get 0 3 1 2 1 and again 2 zeros. So when you multiply these two and add, 4 into 0 is 0, 3 into 3 is 9, 9 plus 1 10, 10 plus 4 14, all of this are 0. So this is 14. So let us see whether they are correct or not. 4 11 11 19 14, 4 11 11 19 14. And again you do the other y5. What is y5? Again, you do the shifting. You have two zeros. Then you have 3, 1, 2, 1, 0. So if you multiply, these two are zeros. So when you multiply, 3 is multiplied with 1. So 3 plus 2 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. Again, all others are 0. So you get, is it 5 or 8? 0, 0, 0, 3, 1, 0, 0, 3, 1, 2, 1, 0. 0, 0, 3, 1, 2, 1, 0. Okay, 2, 1, 0. So when you multiply this with this xn, these two goes 3 plus 2, 5. Yeah, this is 5. This is multiplied with 1, so you get 3. This is multiplied with 2, 3 plus 2, 5. All others are 0. And what about y of 6? Again, you do a time reversal. So this 0 will come here, 3 zeros, 3, 1, 2, 1. Again, you multiply it with this. You have 3 zeros, so these are left out. Fourth one, 3 into 2, 6. So basically you get 4, 11, 11, 19, 14, 5 and 6. That is what y6 is 6. We have got y6 here. So this is how you do circular shifting. Linear convolution using circular convolution. Hope it is clear to you. Yeah. So if you analyze what is happening here, your signal was 1, 2, 1, 3, 0, 0, 0. Basically, your signal is 1, 2, 1, 3, and your signal is 4, 3, 1, 2. And if you are doing circular convolution, how will you do it with, if you are doing linear convolution, how will you do with circular convolution? That is what we are seeing. And we saw that with 4, 3, 1, 2 and 1, 2, 1, 3 with us adding zeros here, if you do a circular time reversal, basically these 3 zeros comes here. So you have 3, 1, 2. And if you multiply these two, you will be multiplying 1 and 4. Right? That will be the output for y of 0, 4. Then because all these are zeros, because you have just these values, all these are 0 padded. So this 0 padded, when you do circular time reversal, when you multiply, all this vanishes. And if you do a time reverse, if you do shifting, circular shifting, what happens is that you can see when you do the first circular shifting, this, yeah, here you have done it. Your values, where is the first circular shifting? Yeah, instead of 1, 0, 0, 0, 3, 1, 2, this 2 comes here. So you get 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 3, 1. So in that case, what happens is that this 2 and this 1 are multiplied. These are zeros, so all these zeros vanishes, and here you have zeros, those also vanishes. So basically you are doing the actual time reversal and multiplication and addition. So you are getting linear convolution. So this is the this can be proved mathematically also. Okay. So I think we shall stop here. Stop the presentation now. Yeah. Okay. So basically, what we have seen today is that we saw in the last class what was circular shifting, what is circular time reversal, and how this circular time reversal and circular shift comes in terms of linear shifting and linear time reversal. When you compare, when you know that the original signal xn is now replaced with periodic repeated form of the original xn when you do sampling in the frequency domain, when you take DFT. So taking DFT is equivalent, or when you multiply two signals in frequency domain, say x e raised to omega and y e raised to omega, basically they become convolution in time domain, x and convolution h of n. But if you are taking DFT of x and y, that is x capital Xk and capital Y of k, if you multiply in frequency domain, the DFT domain, what happening time domain is that the signal x of n uh, and its periodic forms, that is the replicas of the original signal, they come into picture when you do the linear shifting and linear time reversal, and basically they become we saw that it becomes circular convolution and circular time reversal. So when you multiply and when you are confined about in a particular frame of say n size, if it is an endpoint DFT, so in those case when you do multiplication in DFT domain, it becomes circular convolution in time domain. And we saw that how circular convolution can be used for finding linear convolution also. So I was yeah, that's all for today. Next class will see what is FIR filter, what is IR filter in a more detailed way, and how these are applied to those also. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. You have another 3 minutes. If you have any doubt, please ask. I would like these classes to be interactive because I'm not able to. Yeah, I know that I'm conveying things to you, and I know you are studying also because through the quiz I can understand how you are performing. But I would like to interact with you. You can give some feedback. How do you feel the classes are going? How do you want any improvement in these classes? Do you have any suggestions? Is it okay? How do you feel? Please give me some feedback. Okay, Ashwin Rajesh, going great. Thank you. Fine, so okay. I want more feedback. There are 55 now. Nice class, Henna. Please give me more feedback. Good class, Gupta. Good class, Darshana. It's good, sir, Anju. Okay. Nice class, sir, Vishnu. Thank you. Yeah, it seems it's going fine. It's good, Anjita. Yeah. Good class, Zilna. Great class, Malini. Good class, Rahul. Great, sir, Akshara. It's good. Yeah. Good class. Yeah. Anup, yeah, thank you. Thank you, all of you. So I feel that it's okay for you. So today we'll be having a quiz. So you can go through the video once again. If you have any doubts, I'll put the presentation also, the annotated presentation also I'll put. So using I'll put the link to the slide to video mapping, so that in which slide is coming at what time of the video, so that you can, those who have connectivity problem can just go to the exact timing and see the particular doubts and all. So that way, that's all. So hope it's fine. So thank you all of you. If nothing else is there, you can move to the next class. Thank you all of you.